सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। जय देवी शारदे विद्या विशारदे जय देवी शारदे विद्या विशारदे विद्या बुद्धि प्रदे विद्या बुद्धि प्रदे वरदे शुभदे जय देवी शारदे शृंगार रूपिणी शृंगेरी वासिनी शृंगार रूपिणी शृंगेरी वासिनी प्रशांत वदने प्रशांत वदने तमोहारी वरदे जय देवी शारदे ब्रह्म हृदयेश्वरी देवी वागीश्वरी पाहि परमेश्वरी तुषारशिखरेश्वरी ब्रह्महृदयेश्वरी देवी वागीश्वरी पाहि परमेश्वरी तुषारशिखरेश्वरी भावरागलयताळ ज्ञानविलोले भावरागलयताळ ज्ञानविलोले काश्मीरपुरवासिनी वीणा विनोदिनी जय देवी शारदे विद्या विशारदे विद्या बुद्धि प्रदे वरदे शुभदे जय देवी शारदे ॐ नमो नारायणाय 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 ॐ Om Namo Narayanaya. Om Namo Narayanaya. Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya-madhyamam Asmadacharya-paryantam Vande Guru-paramparam Shruti-smriti-purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat-padam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidwaram. Humble prostrations to one and all present here. So from today onwards, we are going to take up this text, Manah Shodhanam. Shodhana means purification. So, a text dedicated to the process of purification of mind. This text is composed by our Pujya Guruji, Swami Tejomayananda. Pujya Guruji has taken some verses from Srimad Bhagavatam also in order to throw some light upon how to handle certain specific weaknesses of the mind. So we have around 25 verses. So before we enter into this text, we will have to understand why this purification of mind is absolutely essential. Why this purification is important. This has to be understood. Is purification necessary only for spiritual people? Or is it necessary for ordinary secular people also, worldly people also? So now, in order to understand the importance of purification, we should understand, or let us analyze how we suffer through an impure mind. The best way to understand the importance of purification is to realize how much we suffer when our mind is impure. So what are the different ways in which an impure mind creates problem for us? So point number one, an impure mind is a torturing mind. Torturing mind means what? A person possessing an impure mind can never be happy. Unhappiness and impurity, they go together. Impurity and agitations, they go together. Many times we have this wrong equation of life that an unconducive environment is the source of our happiness. An unconducive external worldly environment is the source of our unhappiness. This is the general belief which people have. But when we closely analyze the situation, we find that there is an environment, a worldly environment, and between this worldly environment and us, there is another intermediate medium which can play an important role in deciding our happiness. And what is that intermediate medium? It is our mind. Mind interprets the situation, and based on this interpretation, whether the interpretation has been positive or negative, favorable or unfavorable, based on this interpretation, we experience joy or sorrow. So there is a world, there is a mind, and there is me. So, will I be happy or unhappy in this present situation? That is decided by how the mind is going to interpret that situation. If there is a conducive environment, everything is fine. But if I have a complaining and a grumbling mind, focusing only on aspects which are unconducive, completely ignoring all those factors which are conducive, if there is a complaining and a grumbling mind, if there is a fault-finding mind, then even though I am in a conducive environment, 90% factors all going in favor of me. Even in such a situation, what will I experience? Misery. Not because the external world is miserable, but the translator. Who is the translator? Mind. This mind translates that environment to be a negative situation because of lack of so many things. It is finding fault. It is not seeing the good things. It is seeing only the bad things. If I have such a mind as my translator, then what will I experience? I will experience unhappiness. But on the other hand, I have an unconducive environment, but here is a mind which is seeing only the good things in that environment. It is seeing only the Lord's grace and blessings, the hidden hand of the Lord, how Bhagavan is beautifully taking care of my various negativities, bringing out it to me so that I can win over it. So even in an unconducive environment, if my mind is trained to see the plus points, then what will I experience? I will experience happiness even amidst an unconducive environment. So a pure mind sees heaven even in hell. An impure mind sees hell even in heaven. So this is the first problem with an impure mind. An impure mind is a torturing mind. Wherever you are, it will analyze the situation and brings unhappiness for you. Clear? Clear. Point number 2. An impure mind is a deluding mind. What is delusion? Something is there, it is not seen. Something is not there, that is seen. Atasmin tat buddhihi. An impure mind is a deluding mind. It deludes you. There is a right path, it will veil that path from you. There is a wrong path, it will show that wrong path as the right path. And it will instigate to walk the wrong path. Very dangerous. And that is why our greatest enemy is not an external enemy. Our greatest enemy is our own mind. Mind is not only the best friend, it can also be the worst enemy if we don't handle our mind properly. See, as far as an external enemy is concerned, there is nothing to fear. Nothing to fear because you can avoid that enemy. That enemy is external, therefore you can see. You can see that enemy. You can avoid that enemy. You need not listen to that enemy. As far as an external enemy is concerned, that external enemy has no much influence in my life. I have a choice to avoid him. But the problem with this mind is, it is ever with me and it is unseen. And it is a part of me, and then remaining with me as a part of me, disguised as my friend, disguised as my instrument. It misleads me. Are you able to see the seriousness? Remaining with me, pretending to be my friend, my instrument, without coming in front of me, remaining inside. It does all vicious things, makes me blind. Remaining with me, it takes control of all the important aspects. What is the important aspect? The intellect with which I decide. It wills. Completely blocking the reality, an illusion is created, and then this mind tells me to chase that illusion. It does avarana and it does vikshepa. It covers. Avarana means covering, veiling. And then vikshepa, it projects. Covers the reality, projects the illusion, and instigates me to chase that illusion. And it does all this silently, remaining with me. That is why it is the worst enemy. Very dangerous. And what is our condition? We are constantly looking out through our senses, but where is this impure mind doing its mischief? Remaining inside. And there our attention is never there. All the crimes that are happening, wrong things that are happening in the society and in ourselves also, all the mistakes that we do in our life, it is all because of this impure mind. This is point number 2. What is the first one? Torturing mind. Second one, deluding mind. Third one, enslaving mind. An impure mind is an enslaving mind. It will make you your slave. It will take away all your freedom, all your independence. You will become a beggar. Beggar has no choice. You are a master, but it will degrade you to the status of a beggar. You are the master who has all freedom, but the moment you possess an impure mind, you degrade and become a helpless servant of this monstrous mind. So what are the different kinds of slavery? I become a slave of my mind. I become a slave of my senses. I become a slave of sense objects. I become a slave of the whole world. Slavery is the result if we blindly follow our impure mind. Bondage is the result. Punarapi jananam, punarapi manaram. What is it? Bondage. I am not able to be free. I can't free myself from this cycle of birth and death. As far as day-to-day experience is concerned, I am not able to be free from worries, tensions, anxiety. I don't want worry, but I helplessly worry. I don't want tension, but I am helplessly tensed. I want peace, but I am not able to gain that peace. Now this is called as absence of freedom. I want something, but I am not able to get it. I don't want something, but forcefully it is put on me. I have to go through it. So this is called as slavery. So torturing mind, deluding mind, enslaving mind, and the fourth one, alienating mind. An impure mind alienate means what? Separates from whom? From Bhagavan himself. It separates me from my creator. It creates that divide. It disconnects me. The Lord is the infinite source of bliss, happiness, peace, knowledge, strength, wisdom. Impure mind disconnects me. Alienating. I am in the lap of the Lord all the time, but this impure mind disconnects that bond to such an extent that an impure mind says, I don't believe in the existence of God. You see, it's an alienating mind. And the last one, such a mind is a hampering mind. It obstructs my progress. So, torturing mind, deluding mind, enslaving mind, alienating mind, hampering mind. Now just put these words together. D-E-A-T-H. Deluding mind, enslaving mind, alienating mind, torturing mind, hampering mind equal to this is what the impure mind does. It kills you. Whether you are spiritual or secular, it doesn't matter. Whoever you are, if you don't take care of your mind, in fact, if you don't kill your impure mind, it will kill you. Choice is yours. Both cannot survive. Either you have to kill. Killing the impure mind means what? Making it pure. Transforming it. Either you have to kill him or he will kill you. And this killing is not just once. Every moment it will kill you. Killing moment to moment, life after life. So therefore, what should we do? We should kill this impure mind. How to kill this impure mind? Kill the impurities in the mind. That is enough. That is called as Manah Shodhanam. Shodhanam. Process of purification. Purify the impure mind. Okay. Now in this text, what all are the concepts discussed? There are so many concepts which are discussed in this text. Number one, why purification is essential. Number two, what are the impurities of mind? Topic number three, how does the mind become impure in the first place? Topic number four, what is the proof that these impurities belong to the mind and not to the self? Topic number five, what are the different traditional techniques to purify the mind? Topic number six, what is the best way of purifying the mind? Topic number seven, what are the different impurities of the mind? Very common impurities, and what are the specific ways of eliminating them? How many topics? 7. Topic number 8. What is the proof that mind is getting purified? Topic number 9. What should be our attitude while going through this purification process? And topic number 10. How to inspire ourselves when we get discouraged in the process. How many topics? Enough. So what is the first one? I don't remember the order. What is the first one? Why purify? Second, what are the impurities of the mind? Third one, how does it become impure? Okay. Fourth, what is the proof that these impurities belong to the mind and not to the self? This question is important because if it belongs to the self, you can't purify it. If it is our nature, you can't purify it. Okay, next. Traditional technique of purifying the mind. Next. Best way of purification. Next. What are the common impurities and what are the solutions to them? What is the proof that mind is getting purified? Next. What should be my attitude while going through self-purification? Next. How to inspire myself when the results are not very encouraging? Okay. Can you think of any other topic? So therefore, just in 25 verses, most important 10 topics are covered. Okay? Right. So with this introduction, we enter into the text proper. So take page number 7, first verse. Repeat once. Paramatma dvayanandah sarvabhutasthitopiha ajñānenāvrito drishtaha tathaiva ca manomalaihi. Together. Paramatma dvayanandah sarvabhutasthitopiha ajñānenāvrito drishtaha tathaiva ca manomalaihi. Yes. What is the first word of this text? Paramatma, auspicious beginning. You see? So that itself is an invocation, remembering the Lord. So whenever we are going to do anything, what is the first thing to be done? Remember the Lord. So it is an auspicious beginning. Paramatma. Paramatma, who is he? Advaya Ananda. That is his nature. He is Advaya, non-dual. He is Ananda Swarupa, of the nature of bliss. Who is he? Param Atma, the Supreme Self. Where is he? Sarva Bhuta Sthitaha. He is there, residing in the hearts of all beings. Sarva Bhuta Sthitaha means what? It is right there in me. How is he residing in me? As Param Atma. What is the translation of Atma? Self. Self means what? I. That I is called Atma. Is there anyone without I? Not only human beings, all beings. Our world starts with I. Everything revolves around I for me. First I, then comes mine. Mine cannot come without I. So the whole world, my world, whether it is thought world or the material world, it is revolving around I. Means what? Consciously or unconsciously, all our worlds are revolving around the Lord alone. Lord first, then comes everything else. Even for an atheist who may not believe in God, his world is also revolving around God alone, because his world is also I. I first, then comes my experience. I first, then comes my thoughts. I first, then comes my body. I first, then comes my family, my house, my possession, my position. Everything is revolving around this I. And what is this I in its purest form? Param, supreme. What is this I in its purest form? It is Bhagavan, the Lord. So if I have to search for God, where should I search? In Anatma or Atma? My search should always be in Atma, in the self. If you search Atma in Anatma, will you find it? You will not. If you have to experience God as He is, He or she or it or whatever. People have problem with he and she also. If you want to find God, let us use a traditional way, He. That's a traditional. Because in Bible it is used He. Okay. So when He is He, we are all she. Okay. Okay, leave that topic. So therefore, if we have to search for Him, there is no other way. We have to go towards the self alone. And what is the proof that we are understanding God as He is? What is the proof? He is Ananda Swarupa. So therefore, as I am nearing Him, what should increase in me? Ananda should increase. But when will that Ananda increase? So therefore one more term is used, Advaya. Advaya means non-dual. Very interestingly, this is our journey. 3 stages. What are the 3 stages in our journey? First is Advaya. I alone exist. Where is God? That is also non-dual. I don't believe in God. I believe in only in me. So how many entities? Advaya. That is Advaya Dukkha. It's not Advaya Ananda. Okay. The more and more you are away from reality, the more and more will be the suffering. The more and more you are away from light, you are in darkness. The more and more you are in darkness, you are in sorrow. So that is Advaya Dukkha. Then in that sorrow, you become more introspective. Where am I going wrong? What is happening to me? You try all means to come out of this sorrow. Finally, as a last resort, you come to satsang. By then you have messed up your life. Messed up your lifetimes rather. Finally, because of some punya karma, you come to satsang. Then you come to know of the other entity. So from Advaya, you go to Dvaita. 2 entities. I am there and there is a God also. There is somebody other than me, higher than me, controlling me. You accept another entity. So slowly now you are coming out of that dukkha. And then in life, in this laboratory called life, you observe a very strange phenomenon. What is that? Whenever the lower I surrenders unto the higher I, in that blissometer, there is a flick. There are so many meters. Ammeter, voltmeter, speedometer. In the same way, there is something called blissometer, or let us say bliss meter. When the current increases, there is a flick of that, that What is that? Needle increases when current increases. In the voltmeter, when the voltage increases, the needle. In the speedometer, when the speed increases, in the same way, in our heart, there is one unseen meter. What is that meter? Bliss meter. So I find that in the laboratory of the world provides so many situations, and when I am handling this situation, there are times when I become miserable. But then I turn towards God, surrender unto Him, seek His guidance, give up my ego. In those rare moments, what happens to this meter? There is a flick. Suddenly the needle fluctuates. There is an increase of joy, of peace, of contentment. So then I find a relationship. Whenever I efface my ego, there is an increase of bliss. I am interested not in ego. Actually, I am interested only in happiness, bliss, peace. But every time I have tried to boost my ego, there is a decrease of bliss. In the beginning, there is a fluctuation, but finally it decreases. And I find that whenever this ego is effaced, there is a greater and greater satisfaction, joy, peace, contentment, clarity. When again and again I see this, I slowly tend to surrender my ego, surrender my little I unto that capital I, Paramatma. And every time I do this, there is a bliss. So therefore I am more and more inspired to surrender. Surrendering the ego means what? Effacing the ego. Dissolving the ego. That is meaning surrender. And slowly, tempted by this bliss, craving for a greater bliss, I start effacing the ego more and more. And a time comes when the ego is completely effaced. Now how many entities are there? One. Advaya. And what is the nature of that Advaya? Ananda. Got it? This is life. Advaya, Dvaya, and then finally again Advaya. From 0 degree you travel, finally you come back to 360 degree. Where are you now? Same place. 0 degree and 360, both are same. But there is a huge difference. One has not started the journey, other has completed the journey. One is empty of wisdom, the other is empty of ego. Both are empty. You start with 0 wisdom, you end with 0 ego. You come back to the same place. You started silent, became noisy, and again became silent. You were silent in the beginning because you did not know anything. You are silent in the end because there is no need to tell anything. Paramatma Advayananda. So, this is our journey. Okay. So, where is that Bhagavan? Bhagavan is right there as my own self, as the very I in me. Do you need a sense organ to know that I? No. Do we need a mind to know that I? No. I shines by itself. Sarva bhuta sthita. it is available for all. In full measure. You don't have to compete for that. A cake is there, 10 people are there, you will have to compete. And then you will get 1/10 of that cake. Anything of the outer world, you will have to compete. Survival of the fittest. But as far as this self is there, everybody can get full measure. No competition is needed. Why? Sarva bhuta sthitaha. And what are we seeking in life? Ananda is seeking. Where is it? It is already there. But then, why is it then people are miserable in this world then? If they are carrying infinite bliss in their own heart, why is it that they are miserable? The reason is ajnanena avritaha ataha adrushtaha. This bliss is adrushtaha. They are not able to access it. They are not able to see it, experience it. Why is it so? So now see, I have something, but I am not getting it. What could be the reason? I already have something, but I am not able to get it. What could be the reason? One reason is ajnanena avritaha. I don't know it, that I have it. I have it, but I am not experiencing because I don't know that I have it. So one example given in Atma Bodha by Bhagavan Shankaracharya is Kanthabharanam, like the necklace. Sometimes while working, the necklace goes back, And then this lady sees, looks at her, says, where is the necklace? And now she is searching. It is already there. She is carrying it, but she is not getting it. So what is the obstacle there? Ignorance. So therefore, one possible reason is ajnanam. I don't know that I have it. And therefore, I am not able to experience it. What can be the other example you can give? Advaita Mahatmas are all sitting here. What is the other example? The waking dream example. The dreamer is suffering. Why is he suffering? Because he doesn't know that he is the waker. Ignorance is the obstacle. What can be another famous example? Rajju Sarpa example. Rope snake example. What is there is only rope. But I am going through fear, tension, anxiety, worry. Why is it so? Because I don't know that it is rope. Obstacle is ignorance. Now, many times study group members say, Swamiji, I know that I am blissful self, but still I am not experiencing. How many times you have listened to the talks? How many times you have studied different texts? And I have been there for so many years also, Swamiji. But this Ananda has never come. So you cannot say it is because I don't know. I know it. I know it, still I am not experiencing it. So therefore, Guruji says, Tathaiva cha manomalaihi. There is one more aspect which you will have to keep in mind. Mere knowing will not do. Something else is also important. Because obstruction can be from another aspect also. The instrument of knowing also has to be taken into account. What is the instrument of knowing? Mind. Some of you are star watchers. Okay. The Swamiji, Saturn is there. I look. Information is there. Right information has been given. But I look. Where is Saturn? I don't see any Saturn. Swamiji, with these eyes you can't see. You need an instrument. Okay. Telescope is brought. With the instrument I watch. Right knowledge is there. Instrument is also there, but still I am not seeing. Swamiji, not this way. You have to adjust. There are so many settings. So then when the instrument is also set, then I am able to see. Isn't it? Whether it is a telescope or a microscope, you want to see a microorganism. You can't see. It is there. You have been given the information also that it is there. You see it, but you don't see. You look at it, but you don't see. So then there is an instrument. In the same way, why is it that I have gathered this information that this self is infinite bliss, but when I look at myself, I don't see any bliss there. So that means there is some other obstruction which is preventing me from knowing myself. There is somebody else coming in between which is preventing me from knowing my true self. There is somebody who is preventing the little I from knowing the big I. What is that in between thing? So that is that instrument of knowing. What is that instrument? Mind. So if that instrument is not cooperating with me in knowing my higher self, there has to be some problem with that instrument. What could be the problem? So here that answer is given. It is Mano Mala. Mala means impurity. Just like in that telescope, there is that outer glass, something you put there, some dust or something, then you will not see. Everything is fine. There is some dust, some impurity. In the same way, mind has certain impurity, and once that mind becomes impure, that mind will not be able to do justice to its role. What is the role of a mind? Knowing is its role. It is the instrument of knowing. That knowing will not be perfect. For perfect knowing, mind has to be a pure mind. What will this imperfect mind do? Imperfect mind is an impure mind. Impure mind will interfere in the process of knowing. So therefore, two terms, ajnanena adrushtaha tatha eva manomalaihi cha adrushtaha. Both are necessary. Right information is also necessary, and right instrument of knowing also is necessary. Now comes a question. What is the question? The question is, O Guru, why should consciousness need a mind to know itself? Because consciousness, its nature is knowing. Sat, Chit. Chit means knowing. In fact, mind has only a borrowed property. Mind by itself cannot know. It borrows the property to know from consciousness, and it is capable of knowing. By itself it has no such ability. It is a borrowed property. Just like a mirror borrows light from sun and appears bright, appears to give light. Light doesn't belong to the mirror. It is only a borrowed light. In the same way, the ability for the mind to know is only a borrowed ability. Borrowed from whom? From this I, from this consciousness. So therefore, now the question is, why should I need a mind to know myself? Why can't I know myself without the mind? Did you understand the question? That question is answered. Next verse. Page number 9, verse number 2. Jnanena tu tadajnane nashte bhate swayam hi saha satyametat tathapiha kashtamekam cha vartate jnanena tu tadajnane nashte bhate swayam hi saha satyametat tathapiha kashtamekam cha vartate. Yes. O Guru, actually speaking, information alone is what is needed, because consciousness can know itself. It doesn't need an instrument of knowing, because knowing is the nature of consciousness. It is not a borrowed property. For the eyes to know itself, it doesn't need specs. For the mind to know itself, it doesn't need eyes. In the same way, for the consciousness to know itself, it doesn't need any instrument. Just information is all what is needed. Jnanena tad ajnane nashte. Just give that information, jnanam. And what happens? Knowledge will definitely destroy ignorance. You just give that knowledge, ignorance is destroyed, then what will happen? Swayam hi saha bhati. It shines by itself. You don't need a torchlight to see the sun or to see the fire. Fire by itself has light. Something which doesn't have light, yes, you need an external light. But something which is self-luminous, self-knowing, self-conscious, self-aware, why do you need an instrument? Jnanena, with the right knowledge, tad ajnane nashte. When that ignorance is destroyed with that knowledge, swayam bhati. It shines by itself. You know yourself by yourself. Satyametat, you are right. Tathapi, even then, ekam kashtam cha vartate. There is one problem. It appears very logical, but there is a problem. Are you able to understand the problem? Because then solution will make no sense. First is understanding the problem, then coming to the solution. What is this problem? I mean, not this custom. The point is, are you understanding the thought flow? Just jnana is enough actually, because consciousness is self-lumining. Just shift your attention and matter is over. But then that is not happening. There is some other obstacle. For the consciousness to know itself, no instrument is needed. But then, in spite of this knowledge, I am not able to know this. Somewhere else the problem is. So logically it is true. Saha swayam bhati. But kashtamekam cha vartate. There is one problem. Oh Guruji, what is the problem? Verse number 3, page number 12. Yavan malakshiyante manaso ragarupakaha tavanna tattva jitnyasa jayate manushe hridi yavan malanakshiyante manaso ragarupakaha tavanna tattva jitnyasa jayate manushe hridi. Yes. So now, here we have to understand certain things. Let us take that example, famous example of this pole vault. So that person runs with the pole, fixes the pole, and as the pole straightens up, what does he do? He climbs the pole. And now there is a bar. And by the time that pole becomes perpendicular to the ground, by then he has reached the end of the pole. And now there is a bar. What does he do? He drops the pole, jumps the bar. Without dropping the pole, he can't jump the bar. He can't go along with the pole. He has to drop the pole. Meaning, at that time, pole is useless. To jump the bar, do you need the pole? To cross the bar, do you need the pole? If you see only that aspect, you will find that the pole has no use, no meaning, no utility. If you see only that aspect, because to cross the bar, you don't need the pole. You have to just take a leap. But to reach up to that level, so there are two levels, bar level and ground level. From the ground level to reach the bar level, you need the pole. But to cross the bar, you don't need the pole. Have you understood this? In the same way, consciousness to know itself, you don't need mind. But the question is consciousness here, indrawn, or there, outward? As far as our condition is concerned, as an ignorant person is concerned, what is the state of consciousness now? Remember the identification theory. What is identification theory? When entity A identifies with entity B, the properties of B appear to be the properties of A. Fundamentals. When I identify with the movie character, the sorrows of the movie character becomes my sorrow. I start crying. Sorrow is not mine. Sorrow is of movie character. But his sorrow becomes my sorrow because there is identification. That is identification theory. Now, in our case, where is consciousness? Is it identified with consciousness or is it identified with the mind? Where is the identification? with the mind. What is the property of our mind now? Extrovert, impure. Impure means outward. Remember, any impure mind is outward. That's how impure mind is an alienating mind. How does it get disconnected from God? God is inside and the impure mind takes us outside. That's how the disconnect happens. Okay. So, impure mind filled with raga dvesha. Such an impure mind is turned outward. So, where is consciousness? Turned inward or turned outward? Outward, because consciousness is identified with the mind. Mind is extroverted. So now consciousness means paying attention. Okay. What is the property of consciousness? Paying attention means knowing. So consciousness identified with an extroverted mind, what is it knowing? The outer world or the inner self? Outer world. So where am I? Where is my ground level? Outside. So for me, remaining in the ground level, I will not be able to cross the bar. Don't use this logic. Anyway, I have to drop the pole. Why can't I drop the pole now itself? So remaining in the ground, you drop the pole, you will remain where you are. The person on the top, he says, see, you don't need the pole, just drop it. Where is he? Bar level. He is advising the fellow in the ground level. Hey, pole is not needed, drop it. He dropped. He will look like a fool. You are able to understand what I am saying? Which is the ground level? The mind in the world. We are outward, completely busy with the worldly things. Attention is totally outward. Consciousness identified with an extroverted mind is extroverted. Attention is outward. Attention is upon the things, beings and situations. That is the ground level. From there, if you say jnanam alone is sufficient, no instrument is needed. Wrong. Are you able to get the point? So then, what has to be done? Pole has to be used. Climb the pole. What do you mean climb the pole? Purify the mind. Withdraw the mind. Such a pure mind is a silent mind. A mind which can see things as it is. Such a mind is called a pure mind. And then drop the mind. This is called climbing the pole. After that, once the mind is purified, it is silent, consciousness can pay attention to consciousness, no instrument is needed. But as long as the instrument of knowing is creating a trouble, I will have to remove that instrument. Are you able to follow? Now see this verse. Yavan malana kshiyante. As long as the impurities of the mind, kshiyante, is not exhausted, is not cleaned. What are the impurities of mind? Raga rupakaha. In the form of raga rupaka, in the form of raga. So wherever, remember, raga is there, dvesha is also there. You can't have only raga. If there is raga, then dvesha is also there. They are the two sides of the same coin. So as long as mind is filled with raga dvesha, such a mind is called impure mind. That is called as manomala. Such a mind filled with like-dislike is a colored mind. A colored mind cannot see the truth. What will it see? It will see its own color projected upon the truth. colored truth is what is seen by a colored mind. Which mind alone can see the truth? Pure mind. Pure mind will see truth as it is. Truth is like a crystal. Whatever color the mind has, it will project upon the crystal. By itself has no color. To see a colorless truth, you need a colorless mind. So at present our condition is mind is filled with ragadvesha, and therefore consciousness identified with such an impure mind is extroverted. Means what? Attention is outside. Such consciousness cannot look into itself. But as the mind becomes pure, such a pure mind can be silenced. A pure mind can become a no mind. A pure mind can become a silent mind. A silent mind is nothing but a no mind. What is silent mind? Mind free from thoughts is called a silent mind. Mind is nothing but flow of thoughts. So silent mind means what? Mind without thoughts. Mind without thoughts, can you call it a mind? So it is actually no mind. So when we say that truth can be known, cannot be known through the mind, what it means is, to know the truth, mind has to be silent. When we say truth can be known only through the mind, that is also right. Because unless mind is purified, without such a purified mind, truth cannot be known. So what is the cooperation of the mind in knowing the truth? In what way mind has to cooperate to know the truth? In becoming nothing. That is the cooperation. Got it? Actually, it is not through the mind you are knowing. Mind stepping itself aside is the cooperation of the mind. Are you able to follow? As far as knowing the world is concerned, mind is necessary because it has to form thoughts, because only through thoughts you can know the world. I am seeing this book. Actually, what am I seeing? There is a thought generated in the mind. That thought I am seeing. To know anything of the world, thought is necessary. But to know consciousness, do you need a thought? No thought is necessary. Then in what way can the mind cooperate with us? Sometimes you have a plan, a building plan, everything is. In what way politicians can cooperate? Bhaiya, please don't create any trouble. That is your cooperation. Not creating trouble is the cooperation. You don't have to positively do anything, just step aside. That itself will be a great thing. In the same way, what is the greatest favor which the mind can do in self-realization? Stepping aside, becoming silent, not troubling us, not taking our attention outward. But that can be done only if the mind is pure. Is the concept clear? So at that last moment, if the mind is pure, you don't need the mind. Because at that stage, consciousness can know itself. Swayam bhati. Just like at that last stage, you don't need the pole. You can just jump across the bar. At the bar level, pole is not needed. In the same way, once the mind is completely pure and silent, you don't need the mind to know yourself. Did I confuse you? So there is a stage where you have to purify the mind, and there is a stage where you have to drop the mind. Without purifying, if you drop the mind, in fact, you can't drop the mind. Many people try to do that. That's why they are failing. So there is a stage of purification, there is a stage of dropping. Without purification, no dropping is possible. But once purification happens, then mind is not needed. Just jnanam will do. But if mind is not pure, then both has to be done. What is that? Manah Shodhanam plus jnana prapti. 2 stages. So what is being said here? Yavan malana kshiyante manasah ragarupakaha tavanna tattva jitnyasa jayate manushe hridi. Now here is also, there is a gradation. That's what Guruji is trying to say. In fact, as long as mind is not pure, even the desire for self-realization will not come. That's what he said. Means what? This purification is also at different stages. Let us chant the next 2 verses also. Page number 13. That's a different topic we will take up tomorrow. Kathanchit yadi jayeta tattvecha purva karmatah bodhopi jayate yadva tannishthānaiva sambhavet kathanchit yadi jayeta tattvecha purva karmatah bodhopi jayate yadva tannishthānaiva sambhavet. Next one, page 16, verse number 5. Nishtha bhavat paranandah jivan muktasya yoginah sadhakairnanubhuyeta viphalam tarhi sadhanam nishtha bhavat paranandah jivan muktasya yoginah sadhakairnanubhuyeta viphalam tarhi sadhanam. So how purification of our mind is absolutely important from the beginning of the journey till the end. How this pure mind is useful, that is the topic. So that we will see tomorrow. It's a separate topic. Right. Manas bhajare guru charanam Manas bhajare guru charanam dostara bhava sagar taranam dostara bhava sagar taranam Guru Maharaj Guru Jai Jai. Guru Maharaj, Guru Jai Jai. Swaminatha Sadguru Jai Jai. Swaminatha Sadguru Jai Jai. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namah Om. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva. Arunachala Shiva, Aruna Shivo. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivaya Namah Om. Manasa bhajare Guru Charanam. Dostara bhava sagara taranam. Dostara bhava sagara taranam. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramayah, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschit Dukkha Bhag Bhavet, Asato Ma Sadgamaya, Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.